Yo, what it do? What's happening? What's up? What's good? So, in this video, we're going to talk about damages and how I handle damages for my moving company. But before we hop into the video, first things first, shout out to all the subscribers. Really appreciate everybody rocking with the channel, liking the videos, and subscribing. Y'all are dope. So, it's the busy season. It's the end of the month right now. As you get busier as a moving company and you start to do more jobs, you're going to see damages. It's just a part of the game. It's a part of the industry. When you have a moving company, you're going to deal with damages. It doesn't matter how good of a mover you are. Eventually, you're going to have an accident, and eventually, you're going to make a mistake. And it's really important that you got a play or a process in place to deal with damages. So, what happens when we have a damage on the job? The first thing that the guys do is take a picture of the damage and upload it into our damage channel on Slack. That way, the rest of the company, including myself, can see the damage and we can get that claim process started with the customer as quickly as possible. After they upload it, they give me a call. They let me know that, hey, this got damaged. And then they also let the customer know, hey, we had an accident, something was damaged. Please check it out for us. So sometimes the customers are going to be really cool and understanding when there's a damage. Say it's a wall that gets nicked, or a piece of furniture that gets very minimal damage or scratch, and they'll just say, hey, that's fine, don't worry about it, we're not worried about it. It's always great when customers are really chill and understanding, but that's not always the case. A lot of the times you're going to deal with people who want a discount right away. You're going to deal with people who get angry and upset and don't understand that accidents do happen. Look, when you're moving somebody's entire house and you're moving hundreds and hundreds of things on a single move, damages are going to occur. It's just a part of the industry. It doesn't matter how experienced your team is, how many moves you've done, how long you've been in business. Damages are going to happen. It's just a part of the industry. So it's always great when customers are understanding of the situation. So when my guys damage something, they upload it to Slack so the entire company can see it, so we can get that claims process rolling. Sometimes I'll give the customer a call. Hey, I heard something was damaged on the job. Really sorry about that. We're going to get this taken care of for you. Now, when I tell a customer I'm going to get something taken care of for them, what do I mean? I mean, we're going to replace it, repair it, or come to an agreement with the customer about the item. We also have an insurance policy that pays out 60 cents per pound per damaged item, and that's the industry standard. And you need to have that information in your service contract and on your estimate before you book any jobs, but that's the industry standard. We will pay out 60 cents per pound in certain cases, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try to get the item fixed for the customer. We've aligned ourselves with a lot of really talented carpenters here in Denver, Colorado, furniture repair techs here in Colorado. I highly recommend that you have these people in your phone and that you can reach out to them when you have a damage. So that's the first thing that we're going to do, is we're going to try to get the piece of furniture fixed for the customer. Now, say a wall gets damaged or a stair gets scratched. We're going to send out a repair guy to give us a quote on that and fix those items for the customer. Walls are an easy fix. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money to fix a wall, but you got to make that effort. We've had a lot of success going on Thumbtack to find repair guys, drywall repair guys on Thumbtack. Pretty affordable. They'll come out, they'll fix the wall for the customer, they'll match the paint, we'll get it looking brand new for the customer. That's what we're always going to do anytime there's a wall damage. Stairs, wood floors are always the most expensive, and it sucks going through that process because it is so expensive. But if a stair or a wood floor is scratched, we're going to reach out to our wood floor guy. He's going to go do an estimate. We just scratched a wood stair about 3 weeks ago. We were carrying a really heavy dresser, probably the heaviest dresser that I've ever moved. I was actually the one moving the dresser. It slipped, and I caught it. The guy beneath me, he slipped too. He dropped it, went against the side rail. Thankfully, we had all of our side rail protection up, and nobody was hurt and the side rail wasn't damaged, but we did scratch the stairs. So right away we let the customer know. We took pictures. Hey, we're really sorry. Accidents do happen. It is the moving industry. We're going to do our best to get this taken care of for you as quickly as possible. Take pictures, upload it, start that whole claims process, reach out to the repair tech, have the repair tech come out and fix the stair. If we can't repair it, we're going to try to replace the item with a similar item. So if it's a dining room table, I'm going to take pictures of the dining room table and I'm going to find a similar item to replace it for the customer. That means I'm going to go on Facebook Marketplace. That means I'm going to go on OfferUp and I'm going to find a similar dining room table and I'm going to replace it for the customer. If the customer doesn't want to do that and they want money, a lot of the times customers just want discounts on their move. Sometimes we will discount the customer's move if it makes sense for us. Now, sometimes a customer will have a coffee table that they've had for 15 years. It's scratched up, it's dinged up, and unfortunately, it's already kind of janky and falling apart. And say the leg comes off the side. Sometimes they'll be like, that was a $500 piece back in 1994, and I want to get as close to that number as possible. Can you deduct, $450 from my move? No. That's why we have a claims process in place. We're not going to give you $450 for your scratched up coffee table that you've had for 15 years. It's not going to happen. A lot of people don't understand that the moment they buy a piece of furniture, especially this furniture that you assemble yourself, whether it's from IKEA, Target, it could be from one of the finer furniture places, but this assembled furniture, the moment that it gets sold to you, it depreciates in value instantly. Most furniture does. It's just like buying a car off a lot. The moment you buy that $20,000 car and you roll off the lot, it is not worth $20,000 anymore. Furniture is the same way. The furniture really has to be a luxury item, a vintage item. Even antiques don't have a whole lot of value anymore. Really specific items do. So that's why we have the claim process in place. We're not going to give somebody money off the bill right away if there's a damage, unless it makes sense for us, unless it's a reasonable amount of money. And most of the time it's not, because people don't understand the value of their furniture. People are attached to their stuff, and it can make it difficult to have a negotiation process with somebody in a lot of circumstances. So first thing we're going to do is repair it, replace it, or come to an agreement with the customer. Now, if the customer is not reasonable and very upset and just wants money and wants a discount off their move, and they don't want to go through those 3 steps with us, then what we're going to do is we're just going to pay them 60 cents per pound per damaged item. And our customers are aware of this before they even book the move with us, right? You want to have this conversation with them. Yes, they'll ask you, are you licensed and insured? Yes, our insurance pays out 60 cents per pound per damaged item. I verbalize that to the customer, and then when we send them the digital copy of their estimate that they sign and agree to, it's one of the very first things that they see, that we pay out 60 cents per pound per damaged items. That's really important. They sign it saying, hey, we did read this. They sign it. I verbalize it to them. And then on the day of their move, they sign a contract, and that's one of the first things on the contract that the customer gets to read. Our contracts are straightforward. It's not pages and pages and pages. We're straight to the point. This is what we cover. This is what we don't. This is what our insurance covers. This is what our insurance pays out. Now, if a customer's not willing to work with us through the repair process, doesn't want a replacement item, doesn't want to come to an agreement with about a damaged piece of furniture, then we pay out 60 cents per pound. That's the last thing that we want to do. But the reason that that's in place is to protect moving companies. We're dealing with a claim right now where 15 items got damaged, very small nicks and scratches, scuffs, just really small stuff. And it's been a process, but we're being professional about it the entire time. A lot of that furniture we didn't damage. We just didn't catch the pre-damages on it. when you're on a job, you have to have a process for pre-damages. We use Slack for our communication. I don't know if you've seen my tech stack video, but I highly recommend you check it out. I'm going to be dropping a video on Slack, but Slack has channels, and one of the channels that we have is called pre-damages. And if a crew, when they're doing the walkthrough or they're prepping furniture, they're wrapping furniture, they're protecting the furniture, if they see a pre-damage, they're taking a picture of it, the damage on the furniture, then they're taking a picture of the piece of furniture in the house before it's even moved, and we are documenting that. On this particular job, there was just such minimal, tiny little scratches that we didn't take the time to catch them. We just didn't think that they were a big deal, but unfortunately they were a big deal to the customer. If we would have caught this beforehand, we wouldn't be dealing with this headache of a claim. But since it's the 18 items, we went through the process of offering to get it repaired. So we went online, we got links to all the furniture, we found out what paints they use, we bought all the replacement paints. We're going to send out a tech to this person's house to do the touch up on everything. But the customer also wants to move forward with the 60 cents per pound. So we had to figure out the weight for every single item and then cut the customer a check for the 60 cents per pound. And it's been a process, it's been a negotiation process. I highly recommend that you guys don't get frustrated and get combative right away about damages, especially if your reputation is important to you and you want to build a long-lasting, profitable moving company. That you don't get combative, you have a conversation with your customer, you hear them out, you hear their frustrations. I was just on a job last week. I got a call from the crew. There were some items that were scratched, very minimal damages. I say minimal because I look at it and I can barely see it, but it's a big deal to the customer. So I had to go out to the customer's house after this job. It was a really long day. It's the last thing that I wanted to do. She was very combative. Her husband was frustrated as well because she was frustrated, and I got pulled into this very strange dynamic in their relationship about the furniture. And but I went out there and I talked to the customer and I see the damages, and first thing I go is, wow, these are very minimal, right? But I didn't say that to the customer. I let the customer vent and talk about when they got the furniture and who they got the furniture from and why the furniture is so special for them, and let them talk and just express themselves, and then just reassure them we have these processes in place. I know you guys are familiar with our contract and our estimate because you guys signed it, so I'm sure that you guys are familiar because you signed it and you read over everything, so you know that we're going to do our best to take care of this situation. But you want to hear your customer out. If I would have went in there with oh, my team didn't do that, yada yada, and got into an argument with the customer, chances are they're probably never going to refer us, probably never going to work with us again. They're going to leave us a bad review. So it's important that you let your customers express themselves. Now, if customers are going to be crazy, you're going to have crazy customers. They're going to be super disrespectful. I just disengage from the situation, and then we'll just take it to email. We can take it over text, but I'm not going to be in somebody's house and let them actively disrespect me. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to let somebody disrespect my team, berate them over a damaged piece of furniture. It's not going to happen. So I'll take myself out of that situation. We can try to be as professional about that situation as possible. But you got to have plays and processes in place for damages, because damages will make or break you, especially when you're first starting your moving company. You got to have a policy in place. You need to be transparent about your insurance policy from the beginning. The moment that you talk to the customer on the phone and you're doing your bid, or the moment that you go out to the customer's house and you do a walkthrough, you need to let them know, hey, we are licensed and insured. Here's our insurance process. Now, if you're a contractor or a rogue moving company and you're operating under the table, it's still important for you to have these processes and these principles in place, right? You need to have a process in place. Now, when I say file a claim, I don't mean I'm going to my insurance company and filing a claim. I know that my insurance company is going to pay out 60 cents per pound, so I'm paying out of pocket 60 cents per pound so I don't have to file a claim. Because if you consistently file claims for your liability or your cargo insurance, eventually they will drop you, and it will be really difficult for you to get insurance for your moving company. So we come out of pocket for everything, 60 cents per pound. We work with our customers. We try to be understanding. It's really important that you try to be compassionate and understanding when your crew fucks up and damages something. Now, accidents are going to happen, and if an accident happens, you just let the customer know, hey, this was an accident. But you're going to have times where your crew is complacent, right? They're not doing the things that they should be doing on the job, and the customer can see this. They'll make mistakes. They'll knock over mirrors. They'll knock holes into walls. Shit happens, but you got to have a process in place, and you got to take care of your customers, especially if you're in this for the long game. If you want to have $1 million company, you have to have these processes in place, because if you don't, your customers will take advantage of you, and it's not good, man. They'll hustle you out of your money. They'll hustle you for discounts, and all of that adds up, and it's gonna stunt your growth for your moving company. So it's important for you guys to have some plays and some processes in place for your moving company when it comes to damages, especially during the busy season. It's just really important. So that's my video on damages. I hope you guys got some value from it. I gotta go do payroll. I gotta pay the team. It's the end of the month. It is busy, so I gotta go handle some business. But hope everybody's working hard, working smart, grinding, and not sweating the small stuff.